just a reminder, please do keep your assets held under wallets for the most part, unless you're trading it on day to day. But if you're just holding it there, hold on your wallet. Always confirm, don't trust.
Yeah, that's the issue that we had with FTX. Essentially, people just had a lot of assets there, and no one checked them on that.
Well, I wouldn't just say that. They also misused the funds. The assets weren't just there.
That's also true.
We always forget that FTX was also a criminal scheme on one end. It wasn't just that they lied to customers.
Correct.
Welcome back
to another week
of your favorite crypto podcast.
Sometimes crypto.
The unscripted
crypto podcast.
Hey yo.
Boom, 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 boom. We made it again. Again.
This is officially the first episode of the year.
Of the new year. Correct.
Well, that we're recording of the new year.
Yes, sir. Yeah, because last episode we recorded was the last episode we will record of the year. But they're both coming out 2025.
And that will be out after that, before this episode.
Before this episode, correct. So I don't even know where to start this year.
I said we had some pretext. This episode is recorded before I leave to a trip.
Yes.
So it's only a 2-day span from the one before.
Information might.
So don't ask for too much content.
Yeah, information might be.
We're a little short on that.
Information might be a little skewed also, but up to date.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, so whenever you see this, it'll be whatever information is on here for charts, or if we pull that up, just know
it'll be 5
grain of salt.
It'll be 5 days old.
No, older.
Approximately a week old.
It'll approximately be a week older, if not more. So consideration that. But things have developed and things have changed and the news has happened. So where do you want to start?
Well, seeing how you've pretty much carrying this episode, I think that's your decision to make. I only got one story for us that is happening tomorrow. But again, since this is gonna be old,
it's gonna be old at the
it's
time
gonna be old.
out.
It wouldn't really affect you this year.
No. Damn, Alex, the one story you got can't even. It's not even.
Yeah, I kind of messed up. I should have said this 2 weeks ago, 2 episodes ago. Completely forgot about it until now. Because the thing is, okay. So since we're talking about it, I guess I'll just mention it. But essentially, what happened was I had a calendar reminder for today to prepare me for tomorrow. January 3rd is the annual Proof of Keys celebration. And the idea behind this proof of keys is so that anyone who's hodling Bitcoin gets their Bitcoin off of exchanges and into their own cold wallets or hot wallets. Just your own wallets where you have the keys. Why is this a celebration of proof of keys? Because this is an activity, a movement that ensures that you have sovereign rights over your money. That someone is not being trusted with what you own. And the test here is pretty much to put all the exchanges, all the trusted custodians under a bit of stress and a confidentiality test to make sure that they are indeed holding the amount of Bitcoin that they claim to be holding.
Yeah. So essentially having a run of the banks.
A run of the banks, essentially, yes. Purposefully.
And the idea a purposeful run on the banks with hopefully the outcome a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yes, always. That is the ideal situation. Just to keep them on their toes and not get complacent with giving out IOUs that they cannot fulfill.
So I have a question. Where was this during FTX?
Honestly, good question. Good question. So this is something that I think has been happening for the past 3 years. So the first time this happened was, I guess, in 2023. Because this is the third one. FTX.
So
When
after the collapse of FTX, we started to do this.
Yeah, we learned
We learned a lesson.
we learned a lesson. Yeah, very important lesson.
That's funny. This would have solved so many issues if it was done.
If it was done prior, 100%.
Ideally, at least it would have tested the system and made them either be aware, be alert, and be like, and at least make them hold more funds than what they really thought they should have to handle withdrawals. Because not everyone's going to withdraw, but now you know, okay, so 80% of withdrawal rate, okay, we need to hold this much more Bitcoin than what we do to ideally avoid this from happening in the future.
Yeah.
And we may have still be here today.
Yep.
Might have still been here
exactly today. Yeah, so like you said, William, there is no there's no certainty that everyone's gonna pull out their coins, because that's just not gonna happen. But in reducing the amount of coins there are on exchanges, it does stress the system a bit more and require it to be more accurate than
yeah, it makes them be aware that this can happen at any time, and that we have to hold more. If we're not holding sufficient Bitcoin or sufficient assets, we need to hold more than what we're holding.
Yep. And this is just a 1 day thing mostly. The idea is just to 1 day of the year take everything out and assure that they do have an accurate bookkeeping policy, and then on the 4th you can send it back. Continue things as you're normally doing it, strictly just for testing the centralized exchanges and the trusted custodians.
Also, just a reminder, please do keep your assets held under wallets for the most part, unless you're trading it on day to day. But if you're just holding it there, hold on your wallet. Always confirm, don't trust.
Yeah, that's the issue that we had with FTX. Essentially, people just had a lot of assets there, and no one checked them on that.
Well, I wouldn't just say that. They also misused the funds.
That's
the assets weren't just
that's
there.
Also true.
You know, we always forget that FTX was also a criminal scheme on one end.
Yeah, but
it wasn't just that they lied to customers.
Correct. It's a challenge. It's an issue that was very evident when it did collapse. But yeah, tomorrow, January 3rd. So again, like I mentioned before, this will be coming to you a little late. But if you're not invested into crypto or Bitcoin right now, it doesn't affect you in any way, shape, or form. And even if you are invested, this is more so of a communal effort in running this test. Just for our certainty. It's not required, but it is nice to do. This will happen again, 2026, January 3rd. This is an annual thing.
Could you imagine having a yearly run on the banks, like the actual banks?
That would be no. We can't do a run on the banks now because of fractional reserves.
No. What I'm saying is, could you imagine trying to take all the cash they do have on hand?
First of all, that'll take too long.
First of all, yeah. It would take everyone would, but I'll be curious to know at what point do they go, we don't have any more funds for the rest of the day, or until we get more.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's okay, how much money can actually be withdrawn before they're okay, well, gotta come back tomorrow.
Because for the most part, any requests over a certain threshold, I know you have to put a request in ahead of time.
Yeah.
So they can have the money.
They got to request the money.
So assuming that, depending on the branch, it's going to hold 2 to 3 million. On bigger branches, they will hold more. So I'll be curious to know at what point do they go, we have no more cash. We cannot service any more customers.
Yep. That is a very interesting question. But that's essentially what we're doing now. Oh, hopefully it is one-to-one, and that there is no issue.
There won't be.
Yeah, I don't think there will be. Fingers crossed.
So I think we can, just a little fun fact. You have more to add there, by the way?
No, that pretty much sums it up.
So what do you think, Alex, the price was of Bitcoin in 2012 on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, 2012?
I don't
Take a wild
I
guess.
don't even remember what the price was back then. $620.
Way off.
Way off?
Like
$2,000?
still way too high.
Too high.
Way too
That's
high.
what. Okay, yeah, because I was like in 2017 was when it blasted off up to like
Yeah,
7, 8.
yeah. 5 years minus 5 years.
Mhm. True that. I don't know, William. What is it?
So in in 13 years, the price of Bitcoin was sitting at $5.35.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's low. Oh, 2012. That's right. That makes so much sense.
We were only sitting at $5.35, and we're currently sitting at. Last I checked, I believe it was like $96,000. Bitcoin sitting at $97,200.
Yeah, 13 years.
That's 13 years did that. That's an insane return.
Yep. Imagine having what, $5 of Bitcoin, $100.
For those who held, if you held from $5.35 to now, you are a champion.
Yeah, you would essentially have with $100, you'd have 18.55 Bitcoin. With just $100
At today's rate,
yeah,
$100
times what is it, 97,000?
97.
97,000. That's $1.8 million.
On a $100 investment. This is a little side tangent because didn't you tell your dad to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin around this time frame?
I did tell him to do that.
Like weren't you in middle school and you told him you just need to put $100 in here?
Yeah, I saw it on a segment of CNN Student News. They were like, "Oh, this new internet money called Bitcoin is supposedly going to revolutionize the world." And then the guy continued to say, "It is trustless, decentralized, self-custodial, and best of all, limited." I was like, "That sounds like sound money. That sounds like good money to me." The problem is, in that time period, buying Bitcoin from strangers was getting onto a forum and scheduling to meet with a random person in a parking lot. They'll give you a piece of paper, and then you give them $100. So you're paying $100 for a piece of paper.
So it was a little sketchy to do so.
It was quite sketchy indeed. So yeah, my dad was not gonna take me up on that offer.
Yeah, he told me, he goes, my dad did not appreciate what he said. Didn't your dad tell you he goes, I'm going to give you my hard-earned money to go blow away.
Yeah, he's like,
but if you want to take your $100 and do it, go ahead.
I mean, again, I was in middle school, so he goes to me.
I don't think I had $100.
He goes to me, he's like, so you want me to stand on a bridge, drop $100 bill out into the air, and then one day, millions of dollars is going to come in. I was like, yeah. Granted, I didn't know how to defend my position back then.
And granted, even if you did, it would be difficult.
Yeah, even if I did, the challenge would be finding someone who had it.
Even if you did, it would be difficult because the price does not reflect that. But Monday night quarterbacking, though, it would have played out. I think your dad would have told you to sell like at like $20, just to be like honest here. Like, I don't think you guys would have held it all the way through.
We're good.
Let's start with that. But if you would have, what a play!
Yep.
What a play!
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if we miss out on the next revolution.
I'm sure people miss revolutions one at a time.
Yeah, but Bitcoin is still early, so I think we're still good.
You still got another 13 million to go.
Exactly. You still got another 13 million to go.
So
the goal,
we still got a long ways
the
to
goal, in my opinion, that everyone should have is not to get rich quick, but to be able to retire wealthy.
Yeah. I don't know if I... Yeah, I mean, for the average person...
A retirement on Bitcoin
I
would be good.
So I don't know it's retire wealthy. I think it's more in lines of make sure you don't allow your government to devalue your money.
That's all.
Your hard-earned work money.
That's also a big factor into it.
Yeah. Right? Because you also don't want to retire and then like you can't really do like you're at the age of 60 you retire, you're like damn I'm old, like I have all this wealth but I'm limited in youth and adventure.
And then also assuming like inflation continues, like how much is $1 million really going to be worth 40 years from now?
Another 5 years.
40 years from now.
Bro. So just to put it in perspective, I saw on Instagram this guy breaks down the cost of living between 3 generations. It was boomers, Gen Zs, and millennials, I think, or whatever order it goes in,
mm-hmm.
right? Boomers, millennials, Gen Z,
mm-hmm.
right? And he goes, they all bought the same houses in the same exact neighborhoods, everything. He goes, the cost of living for the boomer who have no kids anymore, who has the house is basically paid off. He goes, all they're paying a month to maintain the house is $700.
Mm-hmm.
That millennial with the kids, with older kids, no daycare, none of this, just cost is like $1,500. And he goes, now that same Gen Z in that same house, that same everything, trying to do what everyone else did, is $3,500.
Yep, that sounds about right.
And this is in like 20-year gaps, right? You want to put into like 20 or 30-year gaps. And he goes, it wasn't always like that.
Yeah, I lost you for a second.
It's okay. My internet just came back. Small technical good difficulty. But the comparison he's making goes, there's the wealth gap has changed so much. He goes, the average household, his point is the average or the median household to be considered middle class or like low middle class to middle class. Mm-hmm. He goes, you minimum as a household would have to be bringing in over $150,000 a year to maintain, just had the lifestyle your parents had.
Yeah, that adds up pretty much in line with what I believe it to be. Like, to put it in perspective, granted, we live in South Florida, Central Florida. It's rent in Florida is not cheap.
You can find other states with cheaper rent. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's for sure. But a 1-1, if you find a 1-1 for $1,500, that's a good deal. Like, everyone's like, that's about what it is.
You're kidding at that point.
Yeah. So you cannot raise 2 kids in a 1-1 at $1,500 a month.
No, that $1,500 a month now becomes $2,700 in housing.
In housing alone.
Not light, not the electrical bills, no bills, just the house. Yep. Rent or a mortgage.
Yeah. It's crazy. I do. Miami actually has one of the biggest housing bubbles in the world right now.
I've heard of this.
Where the cost of housing is much higher than average wages around the world. A lot of people cannot afford the houses that they're living in now that they bought back in the early 2000s. Like, they're like, if I try to buy this house today, they wouldn't qualify.
You can't afford it.
They couldn't qualify for it.
One of my old coworkers, his grandparents bought a house in the Gables.
Mm-hmm.
Not the nice part of Coral Gables, if you know Miami, you know what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The lower, like
just
the regular part,
yeah.
Not the fancy high-end houses that you see in the Gables, right? He was telling me that back then when they bought it, I think he said they spent between $150,000 to $200,000. They showed comps on that same exact house, and it's roughly $900,000 to $1 million.
Yep, that's accurate. That is accurate.
He goes, they would never be able to afford this house with what they made and everything.
No, it's gone up insane over there. And Coral Gables is like one of the nicer areas, but even then, that area that he's talking about, it's on the average of good, but at the same time, like $1 million.
Here's a zip code right before they get to like $20 million.
Yeah, but still, it's like $1 million for those houses are ridiculous.
It's ridiculous because the house itself is not worth that.
It's just location.
Inflation, and this is why Sailor and a lot of people go buy Bitcoin. It's one of the only assets that return above average returns and beats inflation year over year, and beats the S&P 500.
Well, I have a friend,
and the Nasdaq.
I have a friend who recently bought a house, and she was telling me that now she's spending $700 more than when she was renting. So, and this is in another state, and in a city still, but it's still expensive to like buy a house. Renting a house worked out for them.
Yeah, because most people renting, or the landowner, the homeowners, for the most part, got the loan relatively cheap before we got the new rates. And what we didn't see with the new rates
exactly
were prices come down as much as we expected.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because the pricing of the houses should have gone down more, but that didn't happen.
Or at least you didn't see that in major cities. The same effect.
Yeah. So in terms of like that wealth gap, the only thing that like millennials, Gen Z has going for them,
your weapon of choice,
is your weapon of choice. But then also like that's something that you could control. In terms of like hope, something that's a little bit more out of control is the large wealth distribution that's about to happen, distribution of wealth, where the boomers are going to die soon. And these boomers have assets worth a bunch of money now that a lot of people are going to inherit once they do die. And that might help out for a little while, but what happens when people win the lottery? More often than not, they go broke again because they don't know how to manage it too well. Hopefully that's not the case for us, but
well, adding to that, because this not YouTuber, she does YouTube, investor Cody Sanchez, who goes, our generation, we have all those assets are coming that are going to be inherited, sold, dismantled businesses from the boomers. Is go buy boomers businesses. He goes, make a business, modernize it. Well, don't make the business, buy their pre-existing businesses already cash flowing, has positive revenue, and you go. And she just says, make it better than what it is right now, and you won't be struggling as much as you think you are. She breaks it down way better. Contrarian thinking, Cody Sanchez, go follow. But her breakdown is go buy their assets or their businesses, and that's one way you can get in at a much lower cost than upfront buying a home and trying to do it on your own.
Yeah, because part of the issue is that a lot of these wealthy or like business owners, just not even necessarily wealthy, but business owners, they know that if they were to give it to someone that they know, chances are they won't be able to run it properly. And in no time at all, they'll likely bring it down to the floor. So they'd rather sell it, get some type of...
Sell it or close. Like the amount of businesses that will just close because the owner passes away and there's no one left to inherit it. That business is gone. Or those who won't want to sell it just because they don't know how to sell it, and they'll just close down shop.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a big move coming. It will happen, and that generation dying off will be felt hard because that's the biggest generation there is. That's the most. It's the most amount of babies.
It's also going to be a big payday for the U.S. government because inheritance tax.
Facts. Well, not even. Yeah.
If I were you, maybe try to do some convincing of your not the beneficiaries, the owners of these current assets, to maybe convert some to Bitcoin or other crypto assets and send that over to some wallet. You're like, they died. What are they gonna do?
This is not financial advice. This is not legal advice. We are not.
Yeah, not legal advice.
We're not experts in taxes nor the law.
Yeah. I'm not saying commit any crimes either. I'm just saying.
And we're not saying commit any crimes. This is also very true. This is what he was alluding to.
What I'm alluding to is
his scenario. His scenario.
There's things that people have control over and things that people don't have control over. That's about it.
Well, on something we don't have control over, and that will also affect the price of another future asset, Solana Polymarket announced, I believe today, no, yesterday. Well, they didn't announce it there on their betting board. What are the chances of a Solana ETF being approved this year?
Oh, okay.
And they're much higher than what I was anticipating.
Really?
Yeah. So Polymarket shows that there's a 77% chance of a Solana ETF being approved this year.
77. Nice. What were you anticipating?
Really, with all the FTC, with all the SEC news and everything else, and them not even labeling as securities yet, I was assuming 50-50, maybe even 40%. Much lower than that, because there is no certainty on whether it's considered what it is considered.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, 70% is very optimistic.
So that's very optimistic because they've also did approve it, and they do approve it to be not a securities by making an ETF. That also means it will be treated similar to Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Which is a W.
Yep. Interesting.
So that's the thing.
I wouldn't mind if that played out.
I found interesting with it.
I wouldn't mind if that played out.
No, which would also mean you would see a large sell-off of Solana as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because that means Grayscale will be able to turn their trust into an ETF.
Yeah, and then those people who've been holding,
and they hold a pretty penny of Solana.
Yeah.
But that's what I had for that.
Interesting. Polymarket's been coming up with some interesting bets lately.
I mean,
one of them was, will the U.S. government confirm aliens' existence in 2024? They did not.
Maybe. Who knows? I think they've alluded to it.
But
like a hard confirmation.
Hard confirmation coming from like the White House. Aliens are real. Did not happen.
Like Trump giving a press hearing saying aliens are real. We've known they've existed for this long. I mean, the speculation behind all these drones that have been flying in the East Coast is they're preparing us for aliens to be like flying above or coming down and landing type of scenario.
So I watched this video of some guys like, how to start a local rumor of aliens being spotted in your town, and then he just attached like a big balloon with like a like long like hot dog type balloon.
Didn't I send that to you?
Did you?
I know I saw that on Twitter.
Okay.
I'm almost certain I sent that.
And then you just put lights on on like the big balloon and the ends of the other two balloons.
On the balloon and the sides, yeah.
And then like it just launched it up into the air, and then like the two lights at the bottom were like spinning, and then the other one was standing still and it's just floating. So it looks very interesting. It does look like it doesn't look normal.
It could be an alien.
Yeah, in a cloudy, dark sky. Yeah, it could be an alien.
I think the issue with the reason those things get debunked so fast is because they can identify the speed it's traveling from, and just be like, oh, this is moving XYZ like in terms of like speed. So, did you know these drones that have been hovering? I know we're late to the story. We just don't talk about it. It's the new year. We don't got much to talk about. Did you know these drones, apparently, like, they're fully electric. Some of them are moving within our scope of, like, travel, but they're not understanding how they're staying in the air for so long.
Really?
So apparently the drones, because they're flying for like 5-6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And as of right now, we don't have, from our knowledge, we don't have anything capable of hovering or just flying in the air without touching down for that long.
I don't think that's accurate, William. I think there is a drone actually that doesn't touch ground ever.
Then how does it charge?
So it's a mixture of similar to. So I don't know how this drone particularly works, like the specifics. But like submarines and other like ships, they have nuclear power plants, small, controlled, that keep them. But I think this drone might use solar panels.
Alex, they're flying in the dead of night for plus 5 hours.
That's also true.
I'm not disagreeing with your statement. I'm not saying there can't be a drone that does fly longer. I'm just saying the ones we are seeing, or the ones that have been reported, are flying around the size of an SUV for 5+ hours.
You know, I kind of don't like Google sometimes, or search engines, better said, because this isn't Google.
Ask ChatGPT.
Oh, true. Because, what's it called? I'm searching up drones, and it's just giving me like commercial drones. I'm like, like DJI stuff.
Just ask ChatGPT. Are there any drones in the market as of 2025, 2024 that can fly in the air longer than 5 hours and hover? Right? I think that's a solid question.
Oh, because this one hovers.
Yeah, they're hovering and flying for 5+ hours. Apparently, one of the reports was one drone was just hovering for like 3 hours.
Really?
Yeah. Want to add a little bit of grain of salt. I did hear all this drone talk on Rogan and other podcasts, and I've only seen a few things on X, so don't quote me on this 100%.
So I said any aircrafts, and how about drones specifically?
Yeah, drones, because for my understanding, these are moving like that, I guess.
Okay, so for drones capable of hovering and flying for 5+ hours, here are some notable examples. AeroVironment Puma AE.
Is it gas powered or electric?
Designed for long endurance missions, it can hover and has a flight time of up to 6.5 hours with advanced battery configurations. Altel Evo Max 4T, a quadcopter that achieves over 5 hours of operational capability. Also, let's just make sure. It's also they have to be fully electric.
Because what the thing is here is, from what I've seen, all these things are not propelled. There's no propellers.
No propellers.
No, these have propellers.
So they're gliding then.
That's the thing. They're flying without propellers and hovering without propellers.
And they're using that's crazy.
Yeah. So mind you, it's like a fighter jet, right? With no propellers. So it's like boosters, like rocket boosters type of a situation. All electric. That's why it's not really using boosters, but I mean it would have to be like that realm of
these
engine.
These other ones are not fully electric. Northrop Grumman does have the MQ-8 Fire Scout. But this isn't. This is like a helicopter, and it's not what I was thinking of.
Yeah. So apparently, that's what. Oh. So that's the current laydown on that, which was interesting.
Yeah. So maybe it might be some really advanced technology.
Yeah. So one of the things that one of the reports I saw for that was they were saying that some of them do move within the realm of like technology we do have, others do not, and no one's confirming or denying whether or not they're American or not.
Yeah, that's just
like
suspect.
The U.S. is not claiming it's ours. They're saying we don't know whose it is.
Yeah, they don't know whose it is. I'm assuming that's not ours.
Yeah, but apparently there's a bunch of conspiracies behind it because apparently like we lost a nuclear weapon.
I also heard that.
And they're using the drones to find it. And when
my thing is, if it hasn't been confirmed, shoot that shit down. If it is ours later on, fine. If it's not ours, then F them.
I think they arrested someone for shooting one of the drones.
Crazy work.
I think I saw
that guy's a
I remember
patriot.
seeing a story, like he shot the drone and
that guy's a true patriot. I mean, kind of dangerous for shooting rounds up into the air like that, but yeah, if they weren't able to confirm if it's ours, shoot it down. If it is ours, fine. That's obviously like we made a mistake. There's some issues where information was not being relayed correctly, and expense at our cost. But from a security standpoint, like that's an unidentified vehicle with unknown intent. Shoot that shit down immediately. Am I crazy for saying that?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
No. I think it's an interesting one. I mean, I'm also curious to know how much misinformation we just spread on this whole topic. Not being fully informed of what's going on.
I think drones. All of it.
No, I don't think it's more than anyone else's.
I think all of that was just straight up malarkey. But
I mean, it's not crypto, so don't listen to us.
Facts.
Being honest with you.
Yeah, we only talk about crypto sometimes, guys.
Yeah.
Cap. We talk about it all the time.
All right. So I got one for you. I have here the top 10 assets. So this is made from Creative Planning. Assets classes total return since 2011. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think has the best return this year?
This year? I want to say it's assets, not. It could include securities, correct?
Double checking here. No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know why it doesn't include one of the ones I'm thinking of, but it does not. This is purely includes assets.
So, like commodities.
Correcto.
Okay. This year. Fudge. I don't think it's. I don't know if it's oil. You know what?
Man, just take the pill.
Just take the pill. Bitcoin. Bitcoin number one.
I want to say it is not just number one. It beats out everything else by a very large margin.
Okay, cool. I mean, that's true. Bitcoin was relatively low at the beginning of the year, no?
Yes.
True that.
But even then,
115%.
Want to add Bitcoin year over year? It
obliterated.
It obliterates anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like I was thinking Bitcoin, but at the same time, like I felt like you're bringing this up to like include other assets to be more inclusive and stuff, but try to give hope for the dying
Well,
breed.
there are other assets.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just saying that's number
Yeah,
one.
because like if you're gonna
let's
you're gonna say like securities, I was thinking like MicroStrategies or Nvidia.
Yeah, but no, this is not.
So
include
Bitcoin,
that.
yeah,
This is
Bitcoin
pure asset.
number one then.
So Bitcoin last year, well, mind you, let me be clear here. Bitcoin has outperformed almost every asset every year since its launch.
Sounds about right.
Let's be clear on that.
Every asset every year
So
beats it.
almost like
Yeah,
it's,
there's 2 years.
like there's a few years here that's like it's. I'll pull up the chart. It's easier. Let's look at it together, guys.
As Michael Saylor said, there is no second best.
Correct. So this is a chart here. So this year, Bitcoin has returned 121%.
Wow.
These are all the other assets' performance this year.
Completely
Not
blew them out of the
even
water.
close. The year before, 2023, not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 2022 was a red year for almost everyone and their money. Cash was positive. So, and you see, this is where you have commodities.
Oh, I see. So these are all like, these are asset classes.
These are the asset classes.
Okay.
Apologies if I worded that wrong for you.
Yeah, I was thinking more so like just strictly commodities like lumber, gold, silver.
I see.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, I did read asset classes total returns, to be fair here.
Yeah, but like I just felt like that title is also
fair. But basically, Bitcoin outperforms every asset class every year almost.
except for 3 years.
Except it's probably more than 3. But you have 2018, which was bad for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2022, which is bad for everyone.
Yeah, so like even then.
Yeah, but it almost outperforms every asset every year,
Mm-hmm.
which is insane.
So like my kind of like issue with this is that not this chart, but although Bitcoin does perform bad with everyone else, one might be able to say that's like a false positive because like everyone did bad. But my issue with Bitcoin, particularly in this case, like a weak point, is that it performs significantly worse than most of those assets also.
Bitcoin?
Yeah, so like in 2018 it's down 73%, where the highest one there looks like it's 15%. Yeah, 15% for preferred stocks. Preferred stocks? No, emerging market stocks.
Yeah.
And then for 2022,
Are you asking me?
no, I'm saying. And then for 2022, same deal, down 65%. This one, 2022, was harder across the board, but the highest one after that was what? 20.
Treasuries all the way at the bottom.
Long duration.
It was
treasuries.
It was the Nasdaq.
Oh yeah, Nasdaq, 32.
Nasdaq at 32.
But
so
So what I was gonna add to that, I was like, yeah, it sucks on those years that it is red. So like, definitely don't want to be jumping in on those years.
No, you want to be jumping in on those years.
Right prior to this.
You don't want to be selling on those years.
You don't want to. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be selling. That's for sure. You don't want to be jumping in right.
You definitely want to buy.
You don't want to buy 2017. You don't want to buy 2021. You're probably not gonna want to buy 2025 also.
You don't want to buy here.
2025. Yeah, because it looks like 1, 2, 3 red, 1, 2, 3 red, 1, 2, 3 red. Yeah, so 2025 definitely not the year to be buying Bitcoin. Cause by the end of this year, at the next year, 2026, it's gonna be red.
That's when you want to buy.
Yeah.
But if you look at the bottom of this, it goes highest return.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin, out of all these years, has always been the highest return almost, except for 1, 2, 3 times.
Yep. Oh wow, there was a.
And if you go to lowest return, Bitcoin's only been the lowest return 3 times.
Yeah.
Which is every bear market.
But now, also, if we look at the right, there's a annualized return, which is an average.
An average of all those years.
And Bitcoin dominates.
Bitcoin dominates. Correct.
Also blowing all of them out of the water.
Yeah, it's doing 10x.
Yep.
What they do.
Bitcoin really is.
It's doing 10x from the best performer, not Bitcoin. Pretty much. No, there is. You can. We have, I think now we have reached the time where we have enough of these data charts to prove and to show that this is the best performing asset.
Yeah, I agree. Bitcoin is,
and to say asset class.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement. But that's crazy. What's that? 2011 to 2024 cumulative.
Yeah, don't even look at that number. That doesn't even. I don't even want to look at that.
That kind of hurts, low key.
That's insane.
That's stupid high.
That's stupid. That's insane. But yeah, like I was saying, we have enough data now to back up Bitcoin outperforming everything pretty much in terms of asset. Like maybe 1 year other classes outperform Bitcoin, but even then you can go to commodities. There aren't many stocks outperforming Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You want anything else to say about this chart? Or I can take it off.
I'm just looking at that crazy percent gain.
The cumulative?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Essentially, if you had invested $1, if you invested $1 in 2011,
it would be worth that. Yes,
it would be worth 311 grand. Yeah, because that's percent.
That's percentage. Yeah.
So you had to divide that by 100.
Yeah. Insane. $1. So how much would your 100 been worth if you would have got in 2011?
That's crazy. Times 100. $31 million.
You'd be set.
Oh, I'd be set. My entire family would be set. What are you talking about?
Listen, simple math here. If you would have had that, you put in $100, it does that. You pay your 30% taxes. You live in Florida, there's no state tax. You pay your 30%, right? Because it's a long-term hold. Or maybe even 40%, right? You cash out. You're not going to cash out all of it. Let's just say you take $10 million off the board for your lifestyle. Like, you buy the house, you're set. How you pay off the house, better said. You pay off the car you want, even if it's a $200,000 car. You pay it off. You take your money. You still have another $20 million in the bank waiting for you, and you still probably have left over another $8 million to do whatever you want with. Yep. Like buying the house, setting up everyone, buying your family car, like doing the whole shebang. You probably have another $8 million left over while even trying.
Well, the thing is, easy. That's for sure.
Assume taxes here on 10 million. Assume 40%. You have 6. You really have 4 million left over after you buy the house, buy the cars, and you have 4 million left over that you cashed out as life chips right then and there.
Yeah, no, but 31 million, please. That's
big
another
chillin'.
low. That's super uber chilling.
That's big.
No need to work for sure.
Zero need to work.
Just a desire.
Zero. Just a desire. Like at that point, you're just building assets to sustain, to build future growth. Like that way you don't have to sell the Bitcoin. And if you really want to look at it, you can probably buy. At this point, what you do is you put all this in an index fund that pay out annually with no interest, and with 4 million, you can probably get 125 to 200,000 a year.
And live off that.
Just stable. And live off 200 grand a year. Your house is paid off, so all you're really paying for is
utilities,
food,
insurance. Pretty much.
Crazy.
Yeah, but we don't harp over lost lost opportunities.
Well, it's that thing of I should have instead of being in your father's sack, you should have been out buying a house in the 80s.
Yeah, what was I doing going to school, going to 5th grade, what year was I don't know, fucking early 2000, early 2000.
Yeah, what were you doing? You should have been buying Bitcoin.
I should have been buying a house. Should have been buying Bitcoin.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah,
we gotta deal with the cards we have currently.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna really give a market update.
Yeah, because
Bitcoin's from our last episode, Bitcoin has broken out, has basically done everything we said. If it does this, we will look at new updates. Really, It's pushing back up to the top of the channel, right? It's pushing back up to the 100,000. We're currently at 97. We have to pretty much wait for it to continue pushing up. It did break its downtrend that we were seeing in last episode. So by the time this is out, though, we'll give a better update on the one after this. Realistically,
yeah,
it's gonna be too old. Too much will happen by then.
So on completely unrelated news,
we love it.
Mr. Beast is engaged.
Aww.
Yeah.
His wife is from another country. His fiance.
No, I did not know that. I didn't even know he was. I mean, it makes sense that he's dating someone, but no idea.
Yeah. So apparently he met her I think she's one of these Western countries. So he told a story on a pod. He paid. I think it was either I don't know if he paid a person to do this, or was it they created an algorithm to do it. So when they applied for her visa, she was back in line 500 days. So with time, people fall out. You check it every day. You can update it to a new slot. So I think he either he created an algorithm to do it, or he paid someone to do it. And they would check the algorithm every day, 9 a.m. when the system opened, to see what new slots were available to move forward in line. He went from waiting 500 days to get her a visa to get in to 30.
Wow.
Just checking every day and moving up the slot, moving up the date.
That's actually really fucking cool.
Money doesn't buy you happiness, but money buys you comfort.
Yeah. That's a lot of comfort. Yeah.
You don't get money to make you happy. You get money to make your life easier. And the pursuit, money should hopefully find what makes you happy deep down inside.
Yeah.
So I guess before we wrap up, because I don't got much.
Yeah, I'm practically done.
And you have to go to work. Axel has a job. He's gonna be the guy who's a millionaire and still works every day.
Yeah.
9 to 5. The reason he works 9 to 5, he just wants the benefits.
Just because it kind of makes life a little easier,
Yeah. So what do we expect for this new year of 2025?
I'm expecting a Bitcoin price of one.
I didn't ask for a price, but okay.
Oh.
But okay.
Okay.
I'll take it. I didn't ask for a Bitcoin price, but I'll take the Bitcoin price. What's up? How much are you expecting then?
Of 165. Easy. I think we could hit 165.
That's a way. Is that our blow off top, or is that our?
No, that's a price that I expect to be hitting. I'm not saying blow off top, but I don't know what the top is going to be. I cannot price the top. I don't know what the top.
You're saying Bitcoin reaches 165.
Bitcoin reaches 165. I said 150 in September to someone. I was like, Bitcoin this time next year is going to be at 150. So something along those lines. And I expect a lot of turmoil for the next couple weeks as Trump
inauguration comes in.
Speaking about Trump, actually, someone told me that he invited Xi Jinping to the inauguration.
He did.
I did not know about that. That sounds crazy.
Yeah, I heard that's a little old, but yeah, I heard it when it came out.
So, in that crazy news, I expect a lot more craziness this year than last year. Why? Because information just starts to spread more, and as always, craziness is like an emergent factor of all this stuff. So we'll see new stuff happening all the time, like all the attacks that happen on the 1st and 31st. Like that's already an insane start.
Who got affected, by the way. We don't want to touch on the topic too much just because I don't know enough.
Yeah, but
that
like,
does suck.
For example, like something similar happened in last year, New Year's, with supposedly aliens on Miami by Bayside.
Oh, and you know what? There's no information about what happened.
None, zero.
People just ran.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff is going to be happening as per the norm. It isn't the crazy is now normal. Normal. Crazy has been normalized.
Yeah, I didn't stay in Austin.
Yeah. It didn't stay in Austin.
Yeah, because Austin's thing is stay weird Austin, or Austin's weird.
I didn't know that.
The weird spread.
So yeah, I'm hoping. I'm very hopeful, as we all are. We should be. That no nuclear war happens. And if it
hopefully we end the wars that are currently out there, or end a few of them, and the big ones. More peace. I would love more peace this year. But if a nuclear war does happen, hopefully we're the first to go. Why do you want to? Okay.
I don't think you want to be around in a post-apocalyptic world.
Well, that's only if it's really apocalyptic. Like, not everyone has to get hit. I mean,
so,
you are right.
So what happens when one nuclear warhead goes off? All of them go off. That's the thing. It is. They're all going off at the same exact time.
You're right. For my current location, I don't know if I'm gonna get killed by the nuclear war, by the nukes themselves, or I'm gonna get killed by the tsunamis that are gonna come.
Yeah, something's gonna happen. Yeah, it's not pretty, but hopefully we avoid that. good vibes. We do avoid that. Peace, love, and prosperity for 2025. For 2025.
So, since you gave your price hit, I'm gonna agree with you. I think we do hit 150, 160 quite easy. I think we have a lot of room to go. I would like it to hit 200.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to see Solana hit 450.
450.
That's double what it did last cycle. That's not
nice.
Yeah, it's 2x what it did prior peak. I think I would like it to see for 450.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I think XRP gets to $10.
Wow.
For all you XRP army over there, $10 XRP for y'all.
So one thing that a lot of people said, my bad question. Something that I said earlier, 2024 might not be the year to buy crypto, or 2025 is not the year to buy crypto because we're going to see a large sell-off in 2026. I'm going to rephrase that because there's still a lot of good potential upside this year. Just don't be late. Do it earlier, aka now. If you're going to do it, this is not financial advice, rather than later.
Don't wait to see the price at 150 and then say I should have bought at 100.
Yeah, essentially. That's a good way of putting it, William. Perfect.
Because the person selling to you at 150 is the person who bought at 100.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to be caught holding that bag and then having to write it down and up.
Yep.
If you can't stomach it.
Yeah, if you can't stomach it. Yeah.
If you're like Alex, it could go to $1 and you still wouldn't be aware.
Not quite, but not even close. But yeah, I have a buddy like that with XRP. He got in at like 40 cents. He's like, I don't care what the heck it does. I'm just buying more.
Dude, I bought at 50 cents and I sold because it wasn't moving, and I put the money somewhere else, and I saw it go to like $3, and I'm like, this does happen to me.
Yeah. What's it at right now? Before we
$2
and 42 cents. 43 cents. Yeah, if you think it's gonna go up to $10, I might buy some.
Nah, the XRP army wants to get to $10. I don't know if it will, but
if it goes up to $4, I'll be happy.
Jesus, what a sell-off Tesla's having right now.
Okay, well before we get into any other like unnecessary
$4.90
content, thank you guys for joining us last year. Thank you guys for being a part of the team of the group this year.
The squad.
You know, we hope we bring you good content please leave a comment letting us know how we're doing or what you want to hear more of. We need feedback. We always need feedback.
We promise that this year we will bring better content, as we promise every year and every episode.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we fall short, sometimes we don't. This one might be short, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure the next one is even better.
At the very least, it should be entertaining.
It should.
Well,
at least something.
Thank you for tuning in.
It's been the first episode recorded in the new year
of your favorite crypto podcast. Sometimes crypto.
The unscripted
crypto podcast.
Ayo.